Welcome back. In this lecture, we are going to see another chapter, a new chapter. It's from zoology, that is animal kingdom, which is very important. And again, the students feel difficulty in remembering the examples here. I'm going to give you some short tricks and codes which will make you to easily memorize the examples of animal kingdoms. Let's start the chapter, right? Now it comes in 11th NCERT, chapter number 4. Now, animal kingdom, we studied in second chapter biological classification that R.H. Whittaker in 1869 has divided organisms into 5 groups, right? Monera, Protista, fungi, plantae and animae. So we are talking exclusively about the 5th kingdom, that is animal kingdom, which are multicellular, right? So if you see the animals which are around you, you find some differences in their structures and in their forms. So even though there are differences in structures and forms, there are some fundamental similarities among all the animals. Now, what are those fundamental similarities which helps us in doing the classification? Like here I have written down the fundamental similarities. What we find in all animals are the arrangement of cells. How are they arranged? And second one is symmetry. When you cut the body, that's called symmetry. And the third one is the nature of the coelom. The visceral cavity, the open space is called coelom. Which type of coelom it is? That's the third character. And the patterns of digestive system, respiratory system, reproductive system, like that. And next one is whether it is having segmentation or not, and whether it is having notochord or not. All these are the points. So there are some similarities, like we are going to use them in classification. One is the arrangement of cells, second one is the body symmetry, nature of coelom, and the patterns of digestive, circulatory and reproductive systems. Now we are using them to do the animal classification. Now the first one is arrangement of cells, means the levels of organization. Though all the animals are multicellular, in all the phylums, the cells are not similarly arranged. Like that, take the first phylum. What's the first phylum? Porifera. Porifera means sponges, right? In sponges, the cells are loosely present. Here one cell, here one cell, here one cell, they are loosely present. So when the cells are individual like this, they are loose together. So in sponges, the cells are loosely aggregated. So such a level of organization is called cellular level of organization. Whereas if we come to the second phylum, that is Coelentata. In Coelentata, the cells are grouped together to form a tissue. Now that tissue is going to form a same function. Now in Coelentata and Ctenophora, the third phylum, the cells performing the same function, they group together. So when they group together, cells grouping together towards the same function, it's called tissue. So then that is called tissue level of organization. Now the third level of organization, where tissues are grouped together and they are directed to make an organ, and the organ has a specific function, then that is called organ level of organization. That comes in Platyhelminthes. In Platyhelminthes, the tissues are grouped to form organ, and that organ will do one function. What is that level of organization called? Organ level of organization. Where do you find organ level of organization? In Platyhelminthes. That's the 4th phylum. Now from the 5th phylum onwards, what's the 5th phylum? ASCHEHELIMENTHIS, ANNELIDA, ARTHROPODA, MOLLUSCA, ECHINODERMATA, HEMICHORDATA and CHORDATA. In the remaining higher phylums, what happens? Organs are grouped together to make an organ system, like digestive system, respiratory system, excretory system, like that. In other higher phylums, like from ASCHEHELIMENTHIS to CHORDATA, the organs are grouped to form organ systems. Then what is that level called? Organ system level of organization. Highest level of organization is organ system level of organization. Now, each organ system performs specific function. So this is about the first characteristic which helps in animal classification. What is that? Levels of organization. So even though all the animals are multicellular, all the phylums will not show similar type of arrangement of cells. Let's take the first phylum. What is that? Sponges, Porifera. In Porifera, the cells are grouped together, right? The cells are loosely aggregated. Now such a level of organization, the primitive level of organization, is called cellular level of organization, where some division of work will be there among the cells. Now second one is Coelentata and Ctenophora. The cells are grouped to make tissues. Then what is that level of organization called? Tissue level of organization. Now coming to the third level, tissues are grouped together which are towards the same function to make an organ. What is that called? Organ level of organization. It's applicable for the 4th phylum, that is Platyhelminthes. the remaining higher phylum from ASCHEHELIMENTHIS to the chordata. The organs are grouped together to make an organ system, like digestive system meant for digestion, respiratory system meant for respiration, circulatory system meant for pumping, right? So then those systems are called organ system level of formation, seen from ASCHEHELIMENTHIS to hemichordates and chordates, right? So each organ system performs specific physiological function. Take a screenshot. We'll talk about the second character, that is body symmetry then. Right. In level of organization only, we can talk about organ system in detail. Like take digestive system. The digestive system is of two types. What is that? Open digestive system and closed digestive system. Incomplete digestive system and complete digestive system. What do you mean by incomplete digestive system? If there is only one opening, then that's called incomplete, which serves as both mouth and anus. If it has two openings, then that's called complete digestive system. Let's write down. So we are still in the first point itself. What is that? So we are telling now in what we can say. We can start like in poriferans or in platyhelminthes. You know, the digestive system has only one opening, and this one opening, it serves as both mouth and anus. In the phylum called Platyhelminthes, the digestive system has only one opening. Through that opening, food will come and undigested food goes out. It serves as both mouth and anus. So what is such a type of digestive system called? Such a digestive system is called as incomplete digestive system. It is called incomplete digestive system. And where do we find it? In Platyhelminthes. Whereas if you take ASCHEHELIMENTHIS, ANNELIDA, ARTHROPODA, MOLLUSCA, right? So in other phylums, what is that? ASCHEHELIMENTHIS. You can write down ANNELIDA also. We can write down ARTHROPODA also. Mollusca, ECHINODERMATA, everything we can write down. Now here we are going to say that the digestive system has two openings. So two openings means mouth is separate, anus is separate. So when mouth and anus both are there, what is that digestive system called? Complete digestive system. Then this digestive system seen in these phylums is called as complete digestive system, right? So this is about one system, that is digestive system. When do you call it as incomplete and when do you call it as complete? Now coming to circulatory system. In circulatory system we can say that now if the blood comes from the heart and if it is pumped outside, means blood vessels are poorly developed, the blood is coming out of the heart and all the organs are bathed in that. Such a circulation is called open circulatory system. Let us write down. So where do you find open circulatory system? In Arthropoda. This is one phylum we can say. And next one is Mollusca. We can also say Echinodermata. So in Arthropoda, then next one Mollusca, Echinodermata, Hemichordata also, and Urochordata. So these are the things what you have to remember. So if I ask you like where is incomplete digestive system, the answer is Platyhelminthes. Which phylums have complete digestive system? The answer is this. Now in the same manner, if I ask you in which phylums you have open circulatory system, so these are the phylums. So make a note of this. In these phylums, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Hemichordata and Urochordata, you know the blood is pumped out of the heart. It's pumped out of the heart. and the cells and the tissues are bathed in the blood. Why are the cells and tissues are bathed? Because it comes out. The blood comes out because blood vessels are poorly developed. So if the blood comes out, what is that circulation called? I told you this is called open circulatory system. It's called open circulatory system. Now, this is a primitive type of circulatory system where we cannot regulate the flow of blood and all. Whereas, if you take the remaining phylums, what are the remaining phylums? I am writing here. I have space here. In Annelida. So, we can say in Annelida, Cephalochordata and Chordata. In Annelida, Cephalochordata and Chordata. So, again, this is important. So, these are the three phylums which have closed circulatory system, the advanced circulatory system. So, the first time circulatory system appeared in Annelida. So, in Annelida, Cephalochordata and Chordata, you know, blood passes through a series of blood vessels. In all these things, the blood passes through a series of vessels. These vessels are of varying diameters. They are not uniform. Some are wider, some are narrow, right? Are varying diameters. The blood passes through a series of blood vessels of varying diameters. The blood is not going to come out unless and until there is a damage to a blood vessel like artery or vein or blood capillary. So the blood flow can be precisely regulated and the pressure can be maintained. Such a type of circulatory system which is advanced is called as open circulatory system. So in Annelida, Cephalochordata and Chordata, the circulatory system is open. This is advanced. Complete digestive system is advanced. It is found in these phylums, right? So we are with the first characteristic, that is level of formation. In the level of formation we told, in sponges it is cellular level of formation. In Coelenterata and Ctenophora it is tissue level of formation. In Platyhelminthes it is organ level of formation. In the remaining phylums it is organ system level of formation. Now here we are talking about digestive system and circulatory system. If the digestive system has having only one opening which is serving as both mouth and anus, then that is called incomplete digestive system. Where do you have incomplete digestive system? In Platyhelminthes. Now in ASCHEHELIMENTHIS to the last one if you go, now it has both the openings, mouth separate and anus separate. What is that called? Complete digestive system. Now let's talk about circulatory system. So in circulatory system, if the blood is pumping, if the heart is pumping the blood outside, there are no proper blood vessels and all, the blood comes out and the cells and the tissues are bathed inside the blood. What is such a type of circulation called? Open, a primitive type. Where do you find it? This is a list of phylums. Whereas in Annelida, Cephalochordata and Chordata, the blood, you know, from the heart, it comes out through a series of blood vessels which are of varying diameters. Then the blood is not going to come out. We can regulate the flow of blood. That's why I'm telling it's an advanced type of circulatory system. So what is that called? Open. Take a screenshot of this. This is important, children. Now we'll go to the second character, that is symmetry. Right. Now let's talk about the second character. What is that? Symmetry. What do you mean by symmetry? So we are going to see whether the animals, when we dissect them, so are they, when we cut them on one plane which is passing through the center, if you are getting two equal parts, then we call such organisms as symmetric. And whatever you do, how many ever planes you try to cut and see, you are not able to get two equal parts, then they are called asymmetric, right? So the second characteristic is symmetry. Now let's talk about symmetry. Now in symmetry we can say like any plane that passes through the center. Any plane that passes through the center means like we can take this plane or we can take this plane or this plane or this plane. Any plane passing through the center, if it is not giving you two identical parts, then such animals are called asymmetric. Okay. So any plane passing through the center is not able to give two identical parts. Is not able to give two identical halves. So what is that symmetry called? That symmetry is called asymmetric. And the phylum which is mostly asymmetric is PORIFERA, sponges. Now, let's talk about symmetric. Now, any plane passing through the center, let it be this plane or this plane, this plane or this plane, passing through the center, if it is giving two identical halves, then that is symmetric. Which type of symmetry is that? Radially symmetric animals, right? Excuse me. So, any plane passing through the center, any plane passing through the center, if it is giving two identical halves, if it is giving two identical halves, then that is symmetric. And which type of symmetry it is? It is radial symmetry. And the phylums which possess this radial symmetry are important. So, what are the phylums which have radial symmetry? First one is CNIDERIA. Second one is TRIPLOBLASTIC. And the third one is ECHINODERMATA. Now, how do you remember this? How do you remember this? You can remember like all aquatic, or you can remember all phylums which starts with C. Even though this is starting with E, the second letter is C only. So like that you can remember. The phylums which are starting with C, that is CNIDERIA. Next one is CTENOPHORA. And third one is ECHINODERMATA. So these three phylums, you know, they have radial symmetry. What is radial symmetry? Any plane, it can be any plane passing through the center. It's giving two identical halves. Whereas coming to the third type of symmetry, only one plane. If it is dividing the body into right half and left half, then that's called bilateral symmetry. So next one is only one plane passing through the center is giving right identical, right and left halves. I'm telling only one plane passing through the center. If it is giving identical right and left halves, then what is that called? It is called as bilateral symmetry. Now, the phylums which are showing bilateral symmetry. So, leaving 1, 2, 3, 4, rest all you can write down, right? So, like ARTHROPODA, it shows bilateral symmetry, ANNELIDA, all those things you can write down as bilateral symmetric animals. If you have to list down, so leave PORIFERA, second phylum came here, third phylum came here. What's the fourth phylum telling? The fourth phylum is PLATYHELIMENTHIS. Shows bilateral symmetry. Next one, ASCHEHELIMENTHIS. Next one, ANNELIDA. Next one is ARTHROPODA. MOLLUSCA. Leave ECHINODERMATA, go to HEMICHORDATA. Last one, chordata. Now these phylums, Platy, ASCII, ANNELIDA, ARTHROPODA, MOLLUSCA, HEMICHORDATA, chordata, only one plane when you cut, you have similar right and left halves. Even we are bilateral symmetrical. When we cut like this, one eye this side, one eye this side, one nostril this side, one nostril, one ear this side, one ear this side, right? So when we cut like this, one hand this side, one hand this side, one leg this side, one leg this side, like that. So when we cut only through one plane passing through the center, if it's dividing into right and left halves, that's called bilateral symmetry. And the phylums which are obeying bilateral symmetry are these things. Radially symmetrical is this thing. Asymmetric is PORIFERA. Okay. Majority of them are asymmetric. I'm not telling that exclusively asymmetric, right? I'm talking about ECHINODERMATA. Now when we see like radial symmetry and bilateral symmetry, which is advanced, means bilateral symmetry is advanced, radial is primitive. Now in ECHINODERMATA, the larva will have advanced symmetry, that is bilateral, whereas adults will have radial symmetry. So one point to be mentioned here, in ECHINODERMATA, the adult will possess radial symmetry, whereas the larva will possess bilateral symmetry. So let me mention that. the larva of echinoderms. The larva of echinoderms shows which symmetry? It shows bilateral symmetry, right? So this is about the second feature. What is that symmetry? What do you mean by symmetry? So when we cut the body, so if you are not getting two identical halves, then that is asymmetric. Here is an example. Any plane passing, if you cut, that's called radial symmetry. 1, 2, 3 phylums are example. Only one plane passing through the center, if it is giving identical right half and left half, then that's called bilateral symmetry. These are the examples. Take a screenshot, then we'll talk about the third characteristic. The next characteristic is diploblastic and triploblastic. So during the embryonic development, we say that there are three germinal layers. Outer one is ectoderm, inner one is endoderm, and the middle one is called mesoderm. Now those animals which are having all these three germinal layers are called as triploblastic. Whereas in the primitive animals where only two germinal layers will be there, they'll be called as diploblastic. Now animals in which there are only two embryonic layers are called diploblastic. What are diploblastic? Only two embryonic layers are there. They are called diploblastic. And what do you mean by the triploblastic? Triploblastic means all three germinal layers are present. What are all three germinal layers? Outer one is ectoderm, inner one is endoderm, the middle one is mesoderm. So what is this outer one called? It is ectoderm. And what is the inner one which is lining the gut called? This is called endoderm. And the middle one is called, the red colored one is called as mesoderm. If all three are there, then that is called triploblastic. If you see ectoderm is there and endoderm is there, in between these two there is an undifferentiated mesoglia. So in diploblastic, ectoderm is there and endoderm is there. What is there in the middle? Undifferentiated layer. An undifferentiated layer. What is that called? Mesoglia. Then what are such animals called? Diploblastic. Now example for diploblastic animals, if we have to see, CTENOPHORA and CNIDERIA are examples for diploblastic. So I wrote here CNIDERIA or CTENOPHORA. CNIDERIA and CTENOPHORA examples are diploblastic. And triploblastic. After CTENOPHORA, the next phylum is PLATYHELIMENTHIS. PLATYHELIMENTHIS, ASCHEHELIMENTHIS, ANNELIDA, ARTHROPODA, ECHINODERMATA, MOLLUSCA, CHORDATA, all are triploblastic. Poriferans, they are cellular level, right? We cannot say whether it's diploblastic or triploblastic. The second phylum and third phylum are diploblastic. From the fourth phylum onwards till the last phylum, they are triploblastic. So mean to say triploblastic is advanced and diploblastic is primitive. So that characteristic over. Now let's come to the next characteristic, that is coelom. What is coelom? It's a cavity. Where should be that cavity present? Between the outer body wall and the inner gut wall. So coelom is a cavity between the body wall and the gut wall. And that cavity should be lined by this mesoderm. Cavity should be there between the body wall and the gut wall, and the cavity should be lined by mesoderm. Then such a cavity is called a coelom. Now the animals which are having coelom are called as coelomates. Now having coelom is an advanced character, so means advanced phylums from Annelida onwards to Chordata. Annelida, Arthropoda, then next one is Mollusca, Echinodermata, Hemichordata, Chordata. So all these are coelomates. Now next one, the animals without coelom are called acoelomates. So acoelomates means come from the first phylum, Porifera, Coelenterata, CTENOPHORA, Platyhelminthis are acoelomates. Animals without coelom are called acoelomates. Examples are first, second, third and fourth phylums. Now coming to the next one, where coelom will be there, but it is not lined by mesoderm. And what happened to mesoderm? Mesoderm is present as scattered pouches between ectoderm and endoderm. So coelom is there but not lined by mesoderm. And what happened to mesoderm? Mesoderm is present as scattered pouches between outer ectoderm and inner mesoderm. What is such a type of coelom called? It's a false coelom, right? Coelom is there but not lined by mesoderm. We call them as pseudocoelomates, and the phylum which shows pseudocoelomic character is ASCHEHELIMENTHIS. Porifera, Coelenterata, CNIDERIA, Platyhelminthis are acoelomates. ASCHEHELIMENTHIS is pseudocoelomate. Then Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, ECHINODERMATA, HEMICHORDATA and Chordata are examples for coelomates. Now, that is about the coelom. In NCERT, they have given the diagrams. Let us see the diagrams. They'll project the diagram and they'll ask which type of coelom is this. Okay. Now, see here. This one is same like this triploblastic only. Outer ectoderm, middle mesoderm, inner endoderm is there. Is there any space between the body wall and the gut wall? No, nothing is there. This is called solid body plan. When solid body plan is there, organ systems and all cannot be developed. So those animals are called acoelomates. There's no space for the organ development to happen because it's a solid body plan. Wherever you see there are cells, ectoderm, endoderm, mesoderm, cells are there. There's no cavity, then it's called acoelomates. And examples for acoelomates we wrote here, right? Porifera, Coelenterata, CTENOPHORA, PLATYHELIMENTHIS are the examples. So you need to identify this diagram as acoelomates. Then we told coelom is there, means space is there, but the space is not lined by mesoderm. Then where is mesoderm? The mesoderm is present as scattered pouch here, 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 here. If the mesoderm is present as scattered pouches between ectoderm and endoderm, then that is called pseudocoelomate. The phylum example here is ASCHEHELIMENTHIS. Now come here. Here you can see it is coelomates, means coelom is there. Here is the coelom and here is the coelom. And the coelom, as they said, it is lined by mesoderm. This side also it is lined by mesoderm. This side also it is lined by mesoderm. It's lined by mesoderm on either sides. It is formed by mesoderm. It is lined by mesoderm. Then they are called true coelomates, eucoelomates. Examples for eucoelomates are, after ASCHEHELIMENTHIS, the next phylum is ANNELIDA, go till Chordata. All are coelomates only. So far what did we discuss? Levels of organization we discussed. Cellular level, tissue level, organ system level we discussed. After that we discussed digestive system, open and closed. After that we discussed open circular system and closed circular system. Then the next one we talked about symmetry. Asymmetrica, radial symmetricala or bilateral symmetry, that we talked. Now next third characteristic we talked about 2 germinal layers or 3 germinal layers. Diploblastica, triploblastica, that we talked. Now let's go to the fourth characteristic, that is segmentation. What is segmentation? If the body is externally also, internally also, if it is divided into segments. If the body is externally also, internally also, if it is divided into segments. If the body is externally also, internally also is divided into segments, right? Now segments are also called metamers. Their serial repetition of at least some organs. In this segment one organ, in another segment another organ. Serial repetition of some organs if it is there. Such animals, they are segmented. The phenomenon is called as metamerism and the organs are called, they are showing metameric segmentation, right? And the animals or the phylums which show metameric segmentation are, one is, you can see it's like earthworm, so Annelida shows metameric segmentation. This is like cockroach, so Arthropoda. And Chordata also shows metameric segmentation. So the 3 phylums which shows metameric segmentation are Annelida, Arthropoda and Chordata. So the body is internally and externally divided into segments or metamers with serial repetition of at least some organs in each segment. The phenomenon is called metamerism. The process is called metameric segmentation. So segmentation is also over. Take a screenshot, then we will talk about the next characteristic, that is notochord. Right. Now when we have to talk about the next characteristic, which is notochord. So notochord, is it ectodermally derived or endodermally derived or mesodermally derived? Means, so you should remember that notochord is mesodermally derived. And how is it? It's like a cord, means it's like a rod. And where is it present? It is present on the dorsal side. It's present on the dorsal side. Now let us talk about the next characteristic, that is notochord. Now, which derived? Mesodermally derived. And how does it appear? Rod-like structure. And on the dorsal side or ventral side it is there. It is on the dorsal side. If if it is mesodermally derived rod-like structure, if it is on the dorsal side. Now, and if the animals possess such a structure, those animals are called chordates. Now, animals having notochord are called chordates. Animals not having notochord are called non-chordates. Now the animals which have this rod-like structure on the dorsal side are called as chordates. The animals which don't have notochord on the dorsal side are called non-chordates. There are 9 phylums which are examples for non-chordates. What are the 9 phylums which are example for non-chordates? It ranges in 9 phylums. Non-chordates examples are: what's the first phylum? Porifera. Second phylum, Cnidaria or Coelenterata. Third phylum, CTENOPHORA. Fourth phylum, Platyhelminthis. Fifth phylum, ASCHEHELIMENTHIS. Sixth phylum, ANNELIDA. Seventh phylum, ARTHROPODA. Eighth phylum, MOLLUSCA. Ninth one, ECHINODERMATA. And 10th one, HEMICHORDATA. So, non-chordates which doesn't have notochord are Porifera, Cnidaria, CTENOPHORA, Platyhelminthis, ASCHEHELIMENTHIS, ANNELIDA, Arthropoda, Mollusca, ECHINODERMATA, HEMICHORDATA. All these are non-chordates. Chordates, we will see it in detail. Chordates are divided into 3 subphylums. We will see that. So we finished all the characteristics. Now we are going to start one by one phylum. Let's start Porifera. Take a screenshot of this. Let's talk about the first phylum, that is Porifera. Now Porifera, they are commonly called as sponges. Now poriferans are generally marine, means freshwater forms are also there. If they ask any sponge which is freshwater, give an example, means it is Spongilla is a freshwater sponge. Remaining are marine, we can say. Now it's a first phylum, so level of formation should be a starting one, that is cellular level of formation, loose aggregate of cells, right? And talking about symmetry, the second characteristics, they are mostly asymmetric, we told. And it's a first phylum, it's the primitive multicellular animals. And they are in water, right? So the body is like this. So they have a special system which is called water transport system or water canal system. All throughout the body, they have minute openings. These minute openings are called ostia. Water enters through the ostia into the internal cavity. This internal cavity is called spongiocele. Water enters into the ostia into the spongiocele, and the water comes out through the common opening called osculum. Through ostia, it enters inside the spongiocele, and through osculum, it comes outside. Now, when the water is coming inside, along with that water, food also comes. Respiratory gases also, exchange also will happen. And when it is going out, undigested food materials go outside. So, means this water transport system or water canal system helps in food gathering. It helps in exchange of gases also. It helps in removal of waste products also. Now we told the internal cavity is called spongiocele, and the spongiocele is lined by unique cells which are called as collar cells or called coenocytes. So coenocytes or collar cells, they lie in the spongiocele. Now coming to digestion, digestion happens inside the coenocyte, inside the cell. So it is intracellular digestion. The body is supported by skeleton made up of either spongin fibers or spicules. So it has a skeleton. The skeleton can be made up of spicules or it can be made up of spongin fibers. So they are bisexuals, means sexes are not separate, means hermaphrodite, means egg and sperms are made by the same animal itself. Asexual reproduction occurs by fragmentation. Sexual reproduction occurs by fusion of the gametes. Fertilization happens inside, means internal fertilization, and development is indirect. When there is a larval stage, right, then that's called indirect development. It has a larval stage, so indirect development. These animals are sessile, they don't move, but the larva is morphologically distinct from the adult, means larva moves. This is a PYQ. Larva is morphologically distinct from adults because the larva will move, adult will not move. Now coming to the examples of this phylum Porifera. Porifera are commonly called as sponges. How will you memorize the examples of sponges? Means the name itself is sponge. Means there is a sponge which is called as cycon. We can say next one is spongilla and euspongia. With sponge, spongilla will come, euspongia will come. With sponge, spongilla and euspongia will come. With S, cycon will come. Like that you have to remember. So the common name of cycon is called scypha. The common name of spongilla is freshwater sponge. The common name of euspongia, it's like a bathing soap, it's called bath sponge. Euspongia is called bath sponge. Freshwater sponge is called spongilla. Scypha means cycon. These three are the examples. Take a screenshot. We'll talk about the next phylum, Coelenterata. The second phylum is Coelenterata or Cnidaria. The earlier name is Cnidaria, now it is called as Coelenterata. Now, these are aquatic, mostly marine. For first phylum, we told they are generally marine. For second phylum, we are telling they are mostly marine. For the third phylum, we will say they are exclusively marine. Okay. So, first phylum, Poriferans are generally marine. So, these are mostly marine, means some freshwater forms are also there. Now, they can be either sessile, they will not move, or they can be free swimming. Hydra, if you take, it will not move, right? So, generally it fixes, that is sessile. And free swimming forms, jellyfish, it swims. So, they are either sessile or free swimming. Now, the poriferans will have cellular level of organization, Coelenterata and ctenophores will have tissue level of organization, right? So, they have tissue level of organization. Coelenterata, ctenophora and ECHINODERMATA have radial symmetry, we discussed. So, they have radial symmetry. And Coelenterata and ctenophora has ectoderm and endoderm, right? So, that means they are diploblastic. So, the word Cnidaria comes from, they have some cells which are called as cnidoblasts or cnidocytes. Inside this cnidoblast or cnidocyte, they have stinging capsule. Because they have that stinging capsule or cnidocytes or cnidoplasts, it got the name called Cnidaria. Sponges exclusive cell is coenocyte or collocyte. Coelenterata exclusive cell is cnidoblast or cnidocyte. They contain a capsule which is called as stinging capsule or nematocyst. Now this nematocyst or stinging capsule helps in anchorage, it helps in capture of the prey, and it helps in defense mechanism also. Three functions it is doing. First one is sticking, that is anchorage. Second one is capture of the prey, and the third one is defense also. And where are these stinging capsules present? They are present on the tentacles, they are present on the body also. Now coming to the gastrovascular cavity, they have only one opening. And where is this opening present? The opening is present on the hypostome, right? So this structure is called hypostome. So on that hypostome, it has mouth. Gastrovascular cavity with one opening, that is mouth. Where is it present? On the hypostome. Digestion for sponges, we told it is inside the cell, intracellular digestion. Here, first it is inside, then outside, means intracellular digestion and extracellular digestion. Both are there. Some cnidarians such as corals will have skeleton. They have its skeleton. They have skeleton which is made up of calcium carbonate. So let's just revise the characters of Coelenterata. We are telling they are mostly marine. They are aquatic. They are mostly marine. They can be sessile or they can be free swimming. So they have tissue level of organization. They are radially symmetrical. They are diploblastic. And they have exclusive cells which are called as cnidocytes or cnidoblasts, which contain stinging capsules or nematocysts, which help in anchorage, which help in capture of the prey, and which helps in defense functions also. The gastrovascular cavity has one opening, mouth. Where is it present? On the hypostome. And where are the cnidoblasts present? On the tentacles and on the body also. Digestion inside and outside, intra and extracellular digestion. And some corals, like some members of cnidarians such as corals, they have skeleton made up of calcium carbonate. Now talking about the two body forms which are present in cnidarians. One is polyp and another one is medusa. Polyp means it sticks to one place, means it is sessile. Whereas medusa, it swims, means they are free swimming. So free swimming shape will be umbrella like. An example for free swimming is Aurelia, its common name is jellyfish. And the one which is sessile in NCERT, they have given two pictures. One which is sessile is Aurelia. Sorry, it is Adamsia. Adamsia means sea anemone. Sea anemone, the body is cylindrical. Check the NCERT diagram, the body is cylindrical. It is sessile, it doesn't move. Example is Adamsia. Adamsia common name, sea anemone. And medusa, they are free living, they are umbrella like, and they are, examples are Aurelia or jellyfish. Now there are some forms like Obelia which exhibit both the forms, right? So those cnidarians which exhibit both the forms, what is this phenomenon called? Metagenesis. Who exhibits metagenesis? Example, Obelia. Polyp produces medusa asexually and medusa produces polyp sexually. If both the forms are there, what is this phenomenon called? Metagenesis. It's called metagenesis. Okay. And fertilization outside. External fertilization, development involves a larva. So indirect development. And coming to the examples, how to memorize the examples of coelenterata, I have written a code here. See, like it's a Hindi sentence. कोई आदमी फिजिक्स को करने के लिए ब्रेन, पेन और गॉड की जरूरत है, राइट? सो कोई आदमी फिजिक्स को करने के लिए ब्रेन, पेन और गॉड की जरूरत है. कोई स्टैंड्स फॉर coelenterata. आदमी स्टैंड्स फॉर Adamsia. Physics stands for peninsula. Brain stands for brain coral. Gorgonia, right? Pen stands for, sorry. Physics stands for Physalia. Pen stands for peninsula. R stands for Aurelia. God stands for Gorgonia. We made a simple sentence to memorize the examples of coelenterates. कोई आदमी फिजिक्स को करने के लिए we need brain, pen और God की जरूरत. कोई means coelenterata, आदमी means Adamsia, see Adamsia. Physics means Physalia, brain means brain coral, pen means peninsula, aur means Aurelia which is jellyfish, and Gorgonia. God means Gorgonia. So brain coral, what's the other name of brain coral? Meandrina. And what is Physalia called? Physalia is called as sea. This peninsula is called sea pen. Aurelia is called jellyfish. Gorgonia. What is Gorgonia called? Sea fan. And Physalia is called Portuguese men of war. And Adamsia, it is sea anemone. In NEET examinations, they'll give it as match the following, common names on one side and scientific names on one side. You have to match them, so you should remember the common names also. Adamsia, it is sea anemone. Physalia is called Portuguese men of war, means the men who are at war, they hide and they come up, right? In the same manner, this Physalia also, it comes above and it goes into the water. So it's called Portuguese men of war. Brain coral is called Meandrina. Peninsula is called sea pen. Aurelia is jellyfish. And Gorgonia is called as sea fan. So these are the examples of coelenterates. Take a screenshot. We'll talk about the third phylum, that is CTENOPHORA. Let's talk about the third phylum, that is CTENOPHORA. They are commonly called sea walnuts or comb jellies, and they are exclusively marine. I told you the first phylum is generally marine, second one is mostly marine, third one is exclusively marine. Okay, and coelenterates and ctenophores have most of the features in common, so we can say tissue level of organization there also, here also. Symmetry, there also radial symmetry, here also radial symmetry. Coelenterates are also diploblastic, these are also diploblastic. So ctenophores, they have 8 externally rows of ciliated comb plates which are used for locomotion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 externally ciliated comb plates which help in locomotion are present in CTENOPHORA. Digestion for CTENOPHORA, it is external and internal. In coelenterata also we told it's external and internal. So there we told the important characteristic is they have nidoblasts or nidocytes, nematocysts or stinging capsules, right? So here, what is a well-marked feature of ctenophorans means bioluminescence. Bioluminescence means absorbing light at low intensity, emitting light at high intensity, glowing up. Okay, so that's called bioluminescence. It's well marked in ctenophores. Sexes are not separate. Poriferans also not separate. Cnidarians also not separate. Ctenophores also not separate. Okay, and reproduction is only by sexual method. Reproduction is only by sexual method. It's again an important characteristics of ctenophores. Then fertilization for coelenterata also we told external. Here also it is external. For coelenterata also we told indirect development includes a larval stage. Here also we are telling its indirect development includes a larval stage. The examples for ctenophores are Pleurobrachia and Ctenoplana. Pleurobrachia and Ctenoplana are the examples. So this is Pleurobrachia. What is this? Pleurobrachia. So with this we are finishing the third phylum. Take a screenshot. We'll go to the fourth phylum. The fourth phylum is Platyhelminthes. So the body is dorsally ventrally flattened. Dorsiventrally flattened body. Hence they are called flatworms. And most of them are parasites inside the animals, including humans. So they are endoparasites. And poriferans have cellular level of formation, coelenterata and ctenophora have tissue level of formation, platyhelminthes have organ level of formation. And poriferans, they don't have any triplo like that. Ctenophores and cnidarians have diploblastic. Here it is triploblastic. And they are bilaterally symmetrical. Poriferans no symmetry only. Coelenterata and cnidaria, they are radial symmetrical. This is bilaterally symmetrical. Its body is divided into, on one plane if you cut, then only you get two equal parts. And they are bilaterally symmetrical. They are mostly their parasites. So for parasites, to stick to the body of the host, they require hooks and suckers are present. Since they are absorbing the digested food, they are directly absorbed. The food is directly absorbed through the body surface. They have specialized cells which are called as flame cells which help in osmoregulation and excretion. And sexes are not separate here, means they are hermaphrodites. So all four phylums, sponges, coelentrates, ctenophores and platyhelminthes, we are telling sexes are not separate. The first phylum you told it is internal fertilization. Second and third you told external fertilization. Here again it is internal fertilization. But all four phylums till now we told it is indirect development, means larval stage is there, right? Planaria shows high regeneration power. Planaria will show high regeneration power. What do you mean by high regeneration power? Means if you cut the body of the planaria, it's also called digesia. If you cut the body of planaria into three parts, 1, 2 and 3. So this part can regenerate the remaining part. The middle part can regenerate this part and this part. The lower part can regenerate this part and this part. So this is called true regeneration. Digesia or planaria exhibits high regeneration power. It comes in second year, first chapter reproduction organism also. The same point will come. So if you have to summarize, Platyhelminthes body is dorsiventrally flattened, so they are called as flatworms, and they are mostly endoparasites in animals including humans. Level of organization is organ level of organization. Symmetry is bilateral symmetrical, and they are triploblastic. They are acoelomates. Hooks and suckers are required to stick to the host, so they are parasitic forms of hooks and suckers. Since they are parasites, they can absorb digested food through the body surface. Flame cells, special cells help in osmoregulation as well as excretion. Sexes are not separate. In all four phylums, sexes are not separate. In the first phylum, we told internal fertilization. Again, in the fourth phylum, we are telling internal fertilization. C and C phylum, Coelenterata and Ctenophora, external fertilization. Development is indirect in all four phylums till now. And planaria or digesia will show high regeneration power. Now coming to the examples. The example is Platyhelminthes are called flatworms, right? So with F, you should remember fasciola. Liver fluke, fasciola hepatica. This is liver fluke. With the T, you should remember Taenia solium. Taenia. Okay. So tapeworm. With T, we should remember Taenia solium, tapeworm. With F, we should remember fasciola, which is called as liver fluke. And so the phylum is Platyhelminthes. With plat, with P, you should remember planaria. With P, planaria. With T, tinea. And with F, it is fasciola or liver fluke. So take a screenshot. We'll talk about the next phylum, ASCHEHELIMENTHIS. So the next phylum is ASCHEHELIMENTHIS. When you cut ASCHEHELIMENTHIS in cross section, it appears like a round. So that's why they're commonly called as roundworms. And they can be either free living or parasitic. They can be either terrestrial or aquatic. Now they have, from this phylum onwards, organ system level of organization starts. They are triploblastic. Like they have coelom, but the coelom is not lined by mesoderm. And what happened to mesoderm? Mesoderm is like scattered pouches. What is that coelom called? Pseudocoelom. Platyhelimenthis are acoelomates. These are pseudocoelomates. They have complete digestive system. Mouth and anus both are there. Mouth and anus both are there. Complete digestive system with muscular pharynx. Important. Muscular pharynx is important. They have an excretory tube through which the excretory materials are collected and it comes out through the excretory pore. Sexes are separate. You can see this is male Ascaris and this is female Ascaris. So sexes are separate, means they are dioecious. And sexual dimorphism is there. Male can be easily distinguished from the female. Males are smaller, females are longer. Males are narrow, females are wider. The male's posterior end is curved and it bears copulatory spicules. Female's posterior end is blunt. So these are the differences. So we say sexual dimorphism is seen. Then next one, fertilization inside the body only, internal fertilization. Development can be direct or indirect. Ascaris shows indirect development only. So let's quickly revise ASCHEHELIMENTHIS. They are roundworms because in cross section they appear circular. They can be free living or parasitic. They can be aquatic or terrestrial. Organ system level of organization, bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, pseudocoelomates, complete digestive system with muscular pharynx. Excretory pore is there. Sexes are separate, means dioecious, and fertilization is internal inside. Development is direct or indirect. Now coming to examples of ASCHEHELIMENTHIS, look at this diagram. It appears like a hook. So write down a hook. It is round in cross section. So write down round. So there's something to fill here, right? So this is for filling. So hook, round, fill. With this you can write down this is hookworm. Another example is roundworm. Filling means filarial worm. So roundworm means Ascaris. Filarial worm means Wuchereria. And hookworm means Ankylostoma. So these are the examples of ASCHEHELIMENTHIS. Take a screenshot, then we'll go to the next phylum, Annelida. The next phylum is Annelida. So Annelida, they can be aquatic or they can be terrestrial. They are free living or sometimes they are parasitic. The body surface is distinctively marked. It shows metamerism. Externally, internally, the body is divided into segments, which are like small rings, annules. So that is why the phylum is called as Annelida. Coming to organization, organ system level of organization. Symmetry, bilaterally symmetrical. Blastic, triploblastic. Coelom, true coelomates, eucoelomates they are. Digestive system, mouth and anus both are there. Complete digestive system. Circulatory system appeared for the first time in Annelida and it is advanced type. It is closed circulatory system. Now locomotion is by setae and locomotion is aided by longitudinal and circular muscles also. Aquatic forms like Nereis will have lateral appendages called parapodia which help in swimming in water. Now nephridia are the structures for osmoregulation as well as excretion. Now their nervous system, for us it is single, so non-chordates it is pair. For us it is dorsal, for them it is ventral. For us it is single, here it is double. For us it is hollow through which the cerebrospinal fluid will go, but here it is solid. For us it is non-ganglionated, here it is ganglionated. For us it is central, here it is lateral nerve cord. All opposites, we are chordates and this is non-chordate phylum. Tell all opposites here. So it is single, it is paired. For us it is dorsal, here it is ventral. For us it is single, here it is double. For us it is hollow through which the cerebrospinal fluid will go. That means here it is solid. For us it is not ganglionated, here it is ganglionated, network is there. And for us it is central, here we have, and it is lateral here. It is called nerve cord. Now the two nerve cords, right, they come like this and they circle around the pharynx to form suprapharyngeal nerve ring, which represents the brain here. And nearest is dioecious, means male and female are separate, whereas earthworm and leech are monoecious only. Nearest shows indirect development, whereas earthworm and leech show direct development. Now how to memorize the examples of Annelida? So in the name itself, N-E-L is there. N for nearest, E for earthworm, and L is for leech. Okay, so what are the three examples? Nearest, earthworm and leech. So nearest is nearest only. Earthworm is called as, what is it called? Perithema postuma. And leech is called Irididaria. So these are the examples of annelids, right? Take a screenshot, then we will go to the next phylum, that is Arthropoda. After Annelida, the next phylum is Arthropoda. Now, Arthropoda is the largest phylum and it is divided into many classes. It has the largest class also, which is Insecta. So, largest phylum is also Arthropoda and it has the largest class, that is Insecta. Means 2/3 of the named species or of animals on earth belong to this phylum only, Arthropoda. 2/3 of all the named species on earth are arthropods only. Now coming to level of organization, organ system level of organization. Here we need to write organ system level of organization. Organ system level of organization, symmetry, bilaterally symmetrical, and all three germinal layers are there, triploblastic, and the true coelomates. Annelida, Arthropoda, Chordata body shows metameric segmentation. So the body is segmented. It has three parts: head, thorax, and abdomen. The body is covered by chitinous exoskeleton, and they have jointed appendages. Joint means arthro, legs means poda, so the name got Arthropoda. Digestive system, we did organ systems, right? So the digestive system is complete with mouth and anus. Circulatory system is open, means blood vessels are poorly developed. The blood comes from the heart directly into the spongiocele, right? Hemolymphae. So all the organs are bathed. So we say open circulatory system. Respiration is either by gills or book gills or book lungs or tracheal system. Gills, where do you find gills? In prawns. Crustaceans, we say. And where do you find book gills? Book gills are found in spiders. Book lungs are found in scorpio. Tracheal system is found in insects. So respiration is by book gills or book lungs or tracheal system. Gills are found in prawn crustacean. Book gills are found in echinids, means spiders. Book lungs are found in scorpio. Tracheal system is found in insects. Excretion is by Malpighian tubules. What do they excrete? Uric acid, means they are uricotelic. Now sexes are separate, means they are dioecious. Sense organs, they have long antennae. They are simple and compoundized. They have statuses which are balancing organs. Fertilization is internal. Development can be direct or indirect. Now mostly they are oviparous, means they are egg-laying animals. Now let's go. Let's summarize the Arthropoda. Arthropoda is the largest phylum. It is the largest class also. 2/3 of all the species on earth belong to arthropods only. And coming to level of organization, organ system level of organization, blastic, it is triploblastic. They are true coelomates. They have bilaterally symmetrical, body is segmented, divided into three parts called head, thorax, and abdomen. Body is having chitinous exoskeleton. They have jointed legs, Arthropoda, jointed legs. Complete digestive system, open circulatory system. Respiration is by gills or book lungs or tracheal system. Excretion is by Malpighian tubules. And what do they excrete? Uric acid. That's why they're called uricotelic. Sense organs are antennae. simple eyes and compound eyes, and statocysts are balancing organs. Sexes are separate, means they are dioecious. Fertilization internal, development can be direct or indirect, and they are mostly oviparous. Now, to memorize the examples of arthropoda, make a code that is lab. In 11th and 12th, how many labs you have? Physics lab you have, chemistry lab you have, bio lab you have. Means for L 3 times you have to say, for A 3 times, and for B we will see. Now let's go with L. What are the 3 L's? Locusta, Lacifer, and the third L is Locusta, Lacifer, and the third L is king crab, Limulus. And coming to A, the 3 A's are Apis indica, honeybee, Aedes mosquito, and next one is Anopheles mosquito, and add Culex also. And coming to B, 1B only, Bombyx. Okay, so Bombyx mori, it's called as silkworm. Now with L, 3 L's, Locusta, gregarious pest, Lacifer lacca, which is used for making that postal gum-like structure, and Limulus is called king crab, right? Now coming to 3 A's, Apis indica, honeybee. Second one is Aedes, which is a vector, right? And next one is Anopheles, which is again a vector of mosquito. And Culex is one more example under insects. B stands for Bombyx mori. Bombyx mori means silkworm. So with this, we finished Arthropoda. Take a screenshot. Then we'll go to the next phylum, Mollusca. So the 8th phylum is Mollusca. The first biggest phylum is Arthropoda. The second biggest phylum is Mollusca. And the Arthropoda annelids are segmented, but molluscs are unsegmented body. They can be terrestrial, they can be aquatic. Aquatic means freshwater or marine water forms. Organ system, level of organization, triploblastic, true coelomates, and bilateral symmetry. These are common points. The body is covered by calcareous shell. Now the body has 3 parts. It has a distinct it has a distinct head, visceral hump, and a muscular foot. Body has 3 parts. It has a distinct head, visceral hump, and it has a muscular foot. Now the body is covered by a soft spongy layer of skin, or the hump is covered by a soft spongy layer of skin called as mantle. So between the hump and this mantle, there's a space which is called as mantle cavity, in which feather-like gills are present for respiration and excretion. Now anterior head, if you have seen a snail, the head has tentacles, right? They're sensory. Now mouth contains a file-like rasping organ for feeding. Now sexes are separate. Male squirrel and male snail and female snail, they're different. Sexes are separate. They're egg laying, means they're oviparous. Fertilization external, development is indirect. Now let's revise. Molluscs is the second largest phylum, and they can be terrestrial or aquatic. Organ system, level of organization, triploblastic, bilateral symmetrical, and eucoelomates. Body is covered by calcareous cell. They're unsegmented. Bodies having 3 parts. One is distinct head, second one is visceral hump, and third one is muscular foot. Now the visceral hump is covered by a soft spongy layer of skin called as mantle. Between the hump and the mantle, the cavity is called mantle cavity, in which feather-like gills are present for respiration and excretion purpose. Head has sensory tentacles. Mouth contains a file-like rasping organ for feeding. Sexes are separate. They are egg-laying, so oviparous. Fertilization external, development is indirect. Now coming to the examples of mollusca. How to remember the examples of mollusca? How did we remember examples of Annelida? N-E-L. We remember, right? N for Nidus, E for earthworm, L for leech. How to remember the examples of Arthropoda? I told lab. Means 3 L's will come, 3 A's will come, 1 B will come. How to remember the examples of mollusca? Let us write down. So there is a mall. In that mall, in the month of September, October, right? So pink apple. Lo means take it. Okay, and how to eat it? Dant, say chabaw. So this is the code. In a mall, September, October month, pink apple will be available. Usko lo. And usko dant se chabaw. This is the code. Mall for mollusca. September means sepia. October means octopus. Pink means two pinks will come. One is pinctada. Okay, one pink is pinctada and another P is pila. So one P is pinctada, other P is, yeah. Apple means apple snail we can write. Lo means loligo. Dant means dentalium. Chabao means Schizoplura. So I think we wrote all the examples. Pinctada, pila, sepia, yeah, sepia came, octopus, aplysia, see here, aplysia, with A, two A's will come. So the code what we made for memorizing the examples of mollusca is mall में September, October month में pink apple लो और dant से चबाओ. Mall is mollusca, September is sepia, October is octopus, pink means pinctada which is pearl oyster, and apple means apple snail, and next one is aplysia is sea hare, loligo means squid, dant means dentalium, chabao means Schizoplura. So this is a simple trick to memorize mollusk examples. Take a screenshot, then we will talk about the next phylum, it is ECHINODERMATA. Ninth phylum is ECHINODERMATA. Now ECHINODERMATA, echine means spiny, derma means skin. They have spiny body. Means the body has endoskeleton which is calcareous. It has calcareous ossicles. So the phylum is called as ECHINODERMATA, spiny body. And they are all marine. Ctenophores we told they are exclusively marine, and ECHINODERMATAs are also exclusively marine. Now level of formation, organ system level of formation, triploblastic, right? So they are triploblastic and they are coelomates. Then the adult shows advanced symmetry, the larva shows, adult shows primitive symmetry, larva shows advanced symmetry. So adult shows radial symmetry, larva will show advanced, that is bilateral symmetry. Complete digestive system is there, mouth and anus both are there. So mouth is at the lower side, ventral side, and anus is on the dorsal side. So anus is on the upper side, dorsal side, whereas mouth is on the lower side, ventral side. It has complete digestive system. Coming to circulatory system, it is open type. Excretory system is absent. Digestive system, complete. Circulatory system, open. Excretory system, absent. They have a special system called as water vascular system, which is also called ambulacral system. It helps in four things. One is locomotion, second one is capture, it helps in respiration, and it helps in transport. So it has four functions: vascular system, locomotion, capture, transport, and respiration. Sexes are separate, means dioecious. Sexual reproduction will happen. Fertilization outside, external fertilization. Development is indirect, involves a larval stage, right? So these are the characters of ECHINODERMATA. Coming to the examples, how to memorize the examples of ECHINODERMATA. The code is A, B, C, D, E. The code for ECHINODERMATA is A, B, C, D, E. So A, we can write down asterisk, and asterisk is one example, and antidon is another example. B for brittle star. C for cucumaria. And D is for, yeah, we can leave D, right? And E for echinus. So what are the examples? Or we can write down D for andon means antidon. This way it's better. So A for starfish, that is astrias, right? And B for brittle star, C for cucumber, D for don means antidon, and E for echinus. So the code what we made is A, B, C, D, E. A for astrias means starfish, B for brittle star. Brittle star is also called ophyra. Cucumaria means sea cucumber. Antidon is called as sea lily. Echinus, what is echinus called? Echinus is called sea urchin. So that's it. This is ECHINODERMATA. Take a screenshot. We'll talk about the next phylum, that is HEMICHORDATA. The last phylum under non-chordata is hemichordata. Earlier, this hemichordata was kept under chordata and was given a status of subphylum. But now it has been completely removed from chordata and it has been brought to non-chordata and it was given a status of phylum, that is hemichordata. So what made them to keep hemichordates under chordates means actually hemichordates will have a rudimentary structure which is called a stomochord, which they thought it is notochord. That is why they kept it under chordata. Right now they saw that this is stomochord, it is not a notochord, and then it has been removed from chordata and it is brought under non-chordata. These are worm-like animals and they are all marine only. Organ system level of organization, triploblastic. They are true coelomates, bilaterally symmetrical. The body is worm-like, means it is cylindrical. It has an anterior proboscis gland. It contains a middle part called collar and it contains a long trunk, right? So this is the proboscis gland and below this it has a collar and then it has a long trunk region, right? So this is collar, this is proboscis, this is collar and it is a posterior trunk. So these are the parts. Body is cylindrical, it contains anterior proboscis, the middle part is collar and it contains a long trunk. Now digestive system, it is complete, it has both mouth and anus. Circulatory system is open type, means blood vessels are poorly developed and blood comes out of the heart. Excretion is through this, that is proboscis gland. Respiration is by gills and sexes are separate, means they are dioecious. External fertilization happens outside the body and development is indirect. Now the two examples of hemichordata are balanoglossus and sarcoglossus. What we draw is balanoglossus. Other one is sarcoglossus. Now since only two examples are there, I think there is no code required for these things, right? Examples for hemichordates are balanoglossus and sarcoglossus. Quickly let us revise once again hemichordata. Earlier it is kept under a phylum chordata and was given a status of subphylum because they thought it is the stomochord as notochord. Now when they have felt both are different, they removed it from chordata and it was brought under hemichordata and it was given a status of a phylum, right? All of them are marine only and they are worm-like animals. Body will be cylindrical. Body has three parts: anterior proboscis, middle part is collar and it has a elongated trunk. All are marine. Organ system level of organization, they are triploblastic, they are true coelomates, bilaterally symmetrical. Digestive system is complete. Circulation is open type. Respiration is by gills. Excretion is by proboscis gland. Sexes are separate, means they are dioecious. Fertilization is outside. External fertilization, development is indirect. Take a screenshot, then we will see all these 10 phylums in a comparison, so which will help us to easily remember all the systems in one glance. We'll summarize all the 10 non-chordate phylums at a stretch in one table, which will quickly help you to memorize all those things. Now I have drawn the table, so let us fill, right, parallelly. Now porifera, which level of organization? It is cellular level of organization. Coelentata children, tissue level. CTENOPHORA, tissue level. Platyhelminthis, organ level. From ASCHEHELIMENTHIS onwards, it is organ system level. So rest all, we can write organ system, all have systems itself. Now coming to the second one, symmetry. Poriferans are asymmetric, right? Coelentrates are radially symmetrical. Ctenophores also radially symmetrical. Echinodermates, adults, are radially symmetrical. Rest all right on bilaterally symmetrical. Bilateral symmetrical. Bilateral symmetrical. Bilateral symmetrical. Bilateral symmetrical. Larva is bilaterally symmetrical in echinoderms. Hemichordates also bilaterally symmetrical. Chordates are also bilaterally symmetrical. Now coming to coelom. Now poriferans, Coelentrata, CTENOPHORA, Platyhelminthis are acoelomates. Acoelom, acoelom, acoelom. Platyhelminthes also acoelomates. ASCHEHELIMENTHIS, they are pseudocoelom. Rest all are coelomates. Coelomates. I'm just writing the shortcuts. Coelomates. Coelomates and coelomates. Now coming to diploblastic or triploblastic. For first one we should not mention. For these two they are diplo. Rest all are triplo children. Triploblastic, 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 triploblastic. All the three germinal layers will be there. Now coming to segmentation, there are only three phylums which show segmentation. What are they? Annelida, Arthropoda and Chordata. So Annelida, segmentation. Arthropoda, segmentation. Chordata, segmentation. The remaining ones not segmented. Coming to digestive system. Now, CNIDERIA, they have incomplete digestive system. CTENOPHORA, incomplete. Only one opening is there, so incomplete. Incomplete. Platyhelminthis also one opening is only there, incomplete. From here onwards it is complete. It's complete digestive system, means both mouth and anus both are there. In NCERT they told present or absence, we are writing the specification also. Complete or incomplete, that also we are specifying. So from ASCHEHELIMENTHIS onwards we are writing complete digestive system. Coming to circulatory system. Circulatory system, like it started from Annelida. Till here we will write absent, 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 absent. Right? So Annelida, closed circulatory system. Arthropoda, open circulatory system. Mollusca, open circulatory system. CNIDERIA, open circulatory system. HEMICHORDATA, open circulatory system. This is closed circulatory system. So, in the first five phylums it is absent. Annelida first time closed circulatory system came. Then Arthropoda it is open, Mollusca open, CNIDERIA open, HEMICHORDATA open and Chordata it is closed again. Coming to respiration. Now respiration in platyhelminth, respiration started from Annelida. In Annelida we say respiration is by gills, book, lungs. Sorry. So here the respiration is by skin itself, right? What I wrote is for arthropods. It is by gills or book lungs or tracheal system. Now in mollusca we say feathery gills helps in respiration. Right. Here respiration is by water vascular system. In HEMICHORDATA, respiration is by gills again. And here we have lungs. Now, in the upper ones we can say respiration is absent. The system is absent, 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 absent. So it is by the skin. Here it is by gills or booklings or tracheal system. In mollusca it is by feathery gills. In CNIDERIA it is water vascular system. In HEMICHORDATA it is gills. And in Chordata it is by lungs. Coming to excretory system. The excretory system, we see in platyhelminthis, right? Flame cells help in osmoregulation and these things. We can see flame cells. And in Annelida, nephridia. In Arthropoda, Malpighian tubules. Right? Here, gills helps in excretion. And in Echinodermates, excretory system is absent. In HEMICHORDATA, proboscis gland. And here kidneys. Here we can say it is absent, absent and absent. So excretory system is absent for the first three. In platyhelminthis it is flame cells. In Annelida it is nephridia. In Arthropoda Malpighian tubules. Mollusca it is feathery gills. In Echinodermata it is absent. In HEMICHORDATA it is proboscis gland. And in Chordata it is kidneys. Now sexes are same. means they are hermaphrodites, they are bisexuals. Here also bisexuals, here also bisexuals, here also bisexuals. In Platyhelminthes also they are bisexuals. Here they are dioecious, unisexuals. Annelida, like both monoecious and dioecious. Nearest is dioecious, earthworm and leech are monoecious. In Arthropoda, again they are dioecious. Mollusca, dioecious. Echinodermates, dioecious. Hemichordates, dioecious and dioecious. Right? And fertilization, in the first one, it is internal fertilization. So, fertilization is internal. Here also in external fertilization. External fertilization. And in Platyhelminthes, it is internal fertilization. In ASCHEHELIMENTHIS, the fertilization is, one second. In ASCHEHELIMENTHIS, they told fertilization is internal. In Annelida, it is external. Here it is internal. And in Mollusca, we say fertilization is external. Here it is external. Hemichordata, in Hemichordata, fertilization is external. And here it is internal. And sometimes external also. Now coming to direct or indirect development. So the development is indirect here. Here also indirect. Here also indirect means larval stage is there. In Platyhelminthes also indirect. In ASCHEHELIMENTHIS it is direct or indirect. In Annelida, in Nereis it is indirect, and in earthworm it is direct. In arthropods it is again direct or indirect. In mollusca it is indirect. In Echinodermata it is indirect, and here direct or indirect. I think so. In a short span we have made all the summary of all the phylums, right? This is very helpful, children. Take a screenshot. With this we are closing this session with non-chordates. In the next session we will see the chordates and the classes of chordates. Thanks for watching.